Hello, my name is Andrea Sioris, and thank you for joining today for the effective I-9 onboarding steps for a successful on-campus working experience. I will be going through this presentation today, and we will go over how to successfully apply for jobs and complete your I-9 onboarding process. Just so that you're aware, this video is being recorded so that we can post it on our website so other students can have access to it if they were not able to join today. So quick little notes, please make sure that your microphone is muted and your camera is turned off, and we'll get started. Before we get started, I would like to have Ashley introduce herself as well on the presentation. Ashley, go ahead.
Hello, I'm Ashley Albring. I am an immigration advisor at UC International, but I also work very closely with Andrea on onboarding and helping to get students and other employees onboarded in the most effective way possible. Yeah.
Thank you, Ashley. Again, my name is Andrea Sioris, and I'm the Senior HR Coordinator, and I work along with Ashley. We're with UC International Services. If you ever have any questions after this, you're more than welcome to email me. This is my email address. All right, so on-campus employment. As an F1 J1 student, you're permitted to work on campus and apply for a student position at UC. You can work up to 20 hours a week while school is in session. Just remember that this is not an average, but a week by week total. So you must not go over 20 hours per week. In addition to this presentation, there's also a link to our website that you're more than welcome to review after we're done today about the rules, regulations, and requirements for on-campus employment. And in addition, we strongly recommend that you watch the 2 resources for international student videos, which explain employment as well. So the first step is, where do I find an on-campus job? And how do I apply for on-campus? Most student positions are posted on a website through UC. First, you will need to go to the jobs.uc.edu link. Then you will need to scroll to the student section and click on student positions. As an F1 student, you can apply for student positions only at this time. Then you will be directed to go to the website called Handshake, which is where UC student job postings are listed. And I have provided you with a link here as well. Once you log into Handshake, then you will need to click on the account. And if you have an account, you can log in as normal. If you don't, you will need to create a login. And once you create an account, it'll give you step-by-step instructions on how to apply for the student positions at UC. This is a very student-friendly website, so it's fairly easy to follow the instructions. Again, just a reminder, you're only allowed to work for on-campus student positions. Any off-campus positions do not qualify. So, for example, you can work anywhere on East or West Campus, except Children's Hospital or College of Medicine, unless you have approval through our office. I would like to also add the College of Corporate Education and Professional Studies will be taking part in a part-time job fair this year, which is Wednesday, September 4th, 2024, from 1 to 4 p.m. at Tangerman University Center. This is an in-person fair for UC students in all majors and school years who are looking for paid part-time work on campus positions as well as off. However, international students are not permitted to work off campus. So please note, if you do participate in this job fair, you will only be permitted to apply for on-campus positions. So I strongly recommend that you go to the on-campus reps and apply for jobs with them. Any off-campus representatives that will be there at the job fair, you will not be eligible unless you're graduated and you have optional practical training. If you also would like help preparing for your resume or getting ready for the job fair, you're more than welcome to drop in at the Bearcat Promise Career Studio at TUC in room 310 during walk-in hours starting August 26th. If you would like some additional information, you may click on the link below, and College of Corporate Education and Professional Studies will be happy to assist you further. All right, so you've applied for a job. Congratulations. Now what? The next steps after you apply for a job through Handshake is you're going to receive an offer letter from your on-campus position, and you have to accept the position with your hiring department. Then you will have to work with Human Resources and UC International to complete the job acceptance process. There are a few steps to successfully complete your hiring process and the I-9 onboarding. This section here will outline the process on how it's done. In order to be authorized for UC as an international student, you must complete I-9 onboarding while you're in the US. This process cannot be done outside of the US. Once you have received confirmation from your department that you have been hired, you will receive an email from Human Resources on the subject line titled Welcome to UC. This email will include instructions for domestic and international students. Please remember, as you're an international student, you must click on the International I-9 Onboarding Handbook, as this is designed for you to help you complete the I-9 onboarding documents. We have provided you with all the examples and answers as to what to put when you apply and complete the forms. The sample of the Welcome to UC email looks something like this, as well as the attachment. It'll just basically say, welcome to the university. We're happy that you'll be joining us. Explain the onboarding process. You're going to click to where it says here to begin the new employee paperwork. However, do not forget that you must review the International Employee Handbook before you click here to begin, so that you know how to answer the I-9 forms correctly. So as previously mentioned, the Welcome to UC mail will be manually attached a handbook that's titled International I-9 Onboarding Handbook. Again, there'll be instructions on how to complete the I-9 forms. Please read that handbook very carefully. As I've mentioned, we give you the answers basically on how to fill out the form. Again, you must be in the US in order to complete this process, as you will need the I-9 document that is only available to you after you have entered the US. For the Welcome to UC email, when you get ready to complete your I-9 paperwork, you will need your I-20 if you're an F1, or your DS 2019 if you're a J1 student. If you're working under an EAD card, you will need your EAD card. If you're under optional practical training, if you're on an H-1B, TNR1, you will need that approval notice, your I-94 document, a valid passport, and a copy of your Social Security card, or your Social Security card if you have one. If you do not have one, that's okay. We provide you with instructions on how to answer the question if you do not have a Social Security card. The I-9 form will have some basic information, your biographical information, which will include your name, your address, and phone number. Please make sure you enter your name as it appears in your passport. It is extremely important that it matches, because it creates issues with the form and later on with the Social Security application process. Again, for the Social Security, when you ask if you don't have one, you'll click on will apply for one. And if for some reason you do not happen to have a last name, but you have a first name, or you have a last name but not a first name, please make sure that in the fields you will put in the surname written unknown, or excuse me, in the first name field, you will put unknown, and in your last name field, you will put your first name. Also, sometimes students may or may not be aware how to properly enter their US address. The US address format is listed as your first name and your last name, your, your street number and your street name, as well as your apartment, and then the city, the state, and your zip code. So, as the instructions will provide you on the handbook, you're going to be required to provide your phone number, your email address, and a US address on file. So, on the electronic I-9, it's going to ask you under which category you will fall under. You need to select option 4. You're a non-citizen authorized to work until X date. Note the expiration date of employment is your valid I-20, DS 2019, or EAD card. It's the end date of that document. It's going to ask you if you had help being prepared or a translator. You're going to say no, because most of the time you are the one that's completing these forms. Another common question and answers on this form is for non tax residents that are international students is the W-4, which is a tax form. The recommended process is that as you're a student and scholar, you need to select single, married, filing separately in step 1. You can leave steps 2 through 4, 0, or blank. And when it asks if you're exempt from taxes, you're going to answer no, you're not exempt. No one is exempt from taxes. However, at the end of the year, when you get ready to file your taxes for 2024 and 2025, you will be given instructions on how to do this in order to potentially receive a refund, or hopefully not. You may owe money to the IRS, but we will provide you with additional instructions on this later on. If you believe that you're a resident alien for taxatory purposes, please visit the international website for more information on that. And that gets a little more complicated. Once you review once you complete all the I-9 documents in SuccessFactor, you'll review the following policies and regulations. So you'll click on each form. Please make sure you read it, sign it, and continue next, next, next until you have completed all the documents. Once you have done the SuccessFactor I-9 forms, then you're going to submit what is called a authorization of employment e-form. Typically, if you're working for UC and you're receiving a UC paycheck, you're going to be filling out the employment onboarding request, receiving a UC paycheck. So you will complete this form. You will need to make sure you fill out the information it's asking for, your student position, your supervisor's name and email, and if you need a social security card or if you have one, if you don't. So some examples of on-campus positions that are UC paid, meaning you have to go through the I-9 onboarding process with our office, is, for example, if you're getting a GA from your graduate school, if you're working for student affairs, the Learning Assistance Center, UC Libraries, UCIT, parking services, etc. Now, some students will get a job that are non-UC paycheck positions. Basically, that means that you're working for Starbucks, you're working for Sodexo, UC Foundation, over at East Campus, you may be working for Mark Pie Express. Those positions you can work because they are on campus, but they're not UC payroll, which means your I-9 process will go directly with these specific employers. What you will do is you still have to complete an e-form, which is called the on-campus employment request non-UC paycheck employee. And this is for students only. Once you submit this e-form, we require 2 to 3 business days to review your employment e-form and verify that you are active in SEVAs, you have registered for classes, your address is updated, you've completed the check-in if you're a new student. And once everything is done, we will go ahead and submit to you a final confirmation email, which prior to the final confirmation email, you're going to get a follow-up that'll say in-person document verification. This will require you to come to UC International office with your immigration documents and check in at the front desk. So our front desk advisor can verify your documents and let us know that you have completed the in-person document check. It is extremely important that you follow all of the above instructions to successfully complete the I-9 onboarding process in order for us to complete your onboarding so that you can get paid effectively. Once you have completed the in-person document check, I will send you a final confirmation email that says you have completed onboarding. If you have a social security number, there will be instructions attached on how to do your direct deposit, how to update your iBearcats Global, how to update your tax information with the UC tax office if you completed everything successfully and you do not need a social security number. If you do need a social security number and you need to apply for one, you will get additional instructions on that process, as well as a letter from our office, mainly signed by me, that says you are working for the University of Cincinnati and that you need to apply for a social security card. Once you get this confirmation email, please read it very carefully and follow the instructions as it explains it on that email and the attachments that you will receive, because it provides you step by step on how to apply and what you need to bring with you after you apply for the Social Security application online. So again, just a little recap on applying for the Social Security. After you receive our confirmation email, you will need to go through the SSN application online first, answer all the questions. Please take your time and answer the questions carefully and provide all that is required. Once you do that, you will print out some documents from the SSA's online application, and you'll need to take all your immigration documents downtown to the Social Security Administration office after you have applied for an appointment. You do need to apply for an appointment online with the Social Security office. When you apply for an appointment, please note, appointments are filling up very fast, and there aren't very many available that may be on the date you want. There's nothing we can do about that. You need to apply for an appointment or schedule an appointment with whatever is next available with the Social Security Administration office. We do not have control of appointment slots or when students, if they want to go on there whenever they feel like it. It doesn't work that way. You just need to make sure you schedule for an appointment at the next available time slot on their website. Once you have completed all that information, when we send you the final confirmation, you'll also get instructions on what it's called the OPERS, the Ohio Retirement Program. International students are exempt from this. We always suggest or recommend that you don't apply for it, because what happens is they withhold money out of your paycheck every month or every pay period. International students tend to not typically retire from the US in the OPERS program. And if you don't want $50 to $60 taken out of your paycheck every month or every 2 weeks, we always recommend that you opt out. So this process is done all online. So when you receive our confirmation email, we will provide you with OPERS instructions on how to opt out. So please make sure that you read it very carefully, and you opt out of OPERS within your 30-day employment gap. So what that means, if your employment start date is August 26th, you have until September 24th, 25th to opt out, depending on the calendar days. If you do not opt out within the 30-day gap period, you will not be able to opt out of that afterwards. This is a government retirement plan. UC Benefits, UC International has no authorization to override that process. So it's very important that you do that as soon as you get the confirmation from our office and follow the instructions on how to opt out of OPERS. Again, it is your responsibility to opt out of OPERS. Okay, please note you must complete the form within 30 days of your employment start date, and you have not received a UC paycheck. If you have passed the 30-day or received a UC paycheck already, you're not eligible to opt out. So it's extremely important that your employment start date is correct and you still have that 30-day gap period and no paycheck. This is a process on how to opt out of OPERS. If you do not have a social security number, this is okay. You can still opt out of OPERS. What you're going to do is you're going to use the last 4 digits of your UCID M number. And these instructions are also provided for you when we send you the final confirmation. You'll receive an email from UC directly from OPERS that will have a link that will be included in that. You will click on that link. You're going to fill out the information, and then you're going to opt out of OPERS. You should receive a confirmation from OPERS that you have successfully opted out of it. And basically, that is all in the I-9 onboarding process. Enjoy your new job. After you have completed onboarding and you do need to apply for a social security card, please remember that as soon as you receive the social security card from the SSA office, you must bring a copy to our office so we can verify it and submit it through the e-verify system, and then over to Human Resources so they can update your payroll record. Human Resources with the University of Cincinnati is requiring a 30-day processing period to apply for the Social Security card and submit a copy. However, for international students, we do have an exception because we know that can take a little longer than 30 days. Some students have to go through background checks with USCIS and the Social Security Administration Office. So we know that usually can take more than 30 days depending on the processing period. And keep in mind, the Social Security Office is extremely busy this time of the year because everyone is applying for Social Security cards within Cincinnati that are in universities that are international, as well as, local individuals who do need a Social Security card. So keep in mind, you got to be patient and you will get your Social Security card. And this is the presentation. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer any questions you might have, or if you're not clear about something, please feel free to unmute your mic and let me know. Kwan, are you doing okay?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Welcome to Cincinnati and the University of Cincinnati. I hope this presentation was somewhat helpful because you're the lucky one. Do you have any questions or anything?
I don't have any questions.